Hello there everyone, welcome back to Terrafirmapunk. So, today we are hopefully going to get an anvil made. And it's going to be a bit of a lengthy process, and thankfully I have gathered up a quite nice bounty of food. I have some lemons here now, which I'm using to make the bulk of my salads. It's a very interesting salad. Lemon, tomato, dried potato, and cabbage. I'll explain the dried stuff in a moment. Now, if we head all the way down into the depths of this shaft, I really need to explore the depths of this thing further. But if we head down here, I have a food storage area, which I'm hoping is like cooler in terms of temperature to let this stuff last longer. I got some dried blueberries, which I got from a quest pack, some more potato, some dried carrot, dried seaweed, lemon. I thought I dried this stuff out, but apparently it did not dry. Then some rye, which we're actually going to be taking and bringing upstairs after I mix these two together. And we're bringing this upstairs because I have made a quern. A quern, if you don't know, is basically a stone bowl shaped thing, a very large one, with another stone you put into it on top of a grain, and you spin that stone around in the grain, and it grinds it down into flour. So if we take this, why can't I put the rye in here? Is it too much rye? Maybe I need to grain it first. Aha, there we go. You need to turn it to grain first. And it actually floats on top, but disappears when it's spinning around. Hello, grain, where did you go? Anyway, you right click the handle and it spins around. And you get some flour. Now the flour, I think I can just mix it up right here. No? Don't really remember what to do. I think I might need a bucket. Which a bucket is actually not that. There we go. Bucket. Now this bucket is actually kind of useless in terms of transporting water because it cannot pick up a source block. Okay, if I do this, there we go. Then I get some dough. And you actually can get a good amount of dough out of this. So let's go ahead and grab another bucket. There we go. We got 2 lumps of rye dough. Now we take this over here and grab ourselves a bit of wood. Grab some oak. And we toss the dough on the fire, and it starts heating up. And after a while, we'll have some bread. And with bread, we'll be able to make sandwiches. Sandwich. Have to be careful and keep watching it though, because if we don't, we may end up with very, very dark, aka burnt bread. And I don't like my bread burnt. I'm on fire! Okay, that is now very hot. Any minute now. Oop, there we go. So right here we have some very light, so barely cooked at all. light. That is probably a very springy and spongy bread. And there we have medium. Doesn't take too long after you get it up there. I think if I leave this sitting, it might cook a little bit further, depending on how hot it actually got, but it looks like it's going to cool down fast enough that I don't have to worry about my bread getting any darker. I like my bread medium. Kind of a sourdough bread, it looks like. So, for the copper, we need some flux. And thankfully, there's an area all the way over yonder in some direction. Ah, there we go. Dolomite. I went and I found some dolomite. And dolomite is very important because it is needed to get flux. In fact, I have some dolomite in this jar right here. So to get flux, we take the dolomite rock and we smash it with a hammer. And that gets us a whole bunch of flux. Now, in order to actually make use of this, I need to have my my anvil in a completely different area than I have it. I don't know why I decided to set it down here, but that was pretty stupid of me. In fact, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it back. Thankfully, I don't need to worry about going and finding more basalt because basalt's actually pretty easy to find around here. It's around every source of lava and in the hot springs. So I'm going to take this hammer, and we're just going to leave that sit here. Also, I'm getting only 7 frames per second most of the time right now. I don't know why, but when I'm not recording, my FPS is up in the 25 range at least. So I'm going to have to brain flaps. I can't speak proper. Any hoozles. So here we have ourselves a bit of basalt. Let's just take away from the area around it, and there we go. Brand new anvil. Alright, so I'm going to set up a forge area, a place where I can heat up metal and not have to worry about it cooling down very quickly, like on a journey from the forge to my house. Oh yes, I should mention this as well. This is a charcoal pit. It's got lots of logs in there. I need to finish filling it up, and then we can set it on fire, and eventually we will have charcoal, which is necessary for making a forge. So, I have 2 things we're going to be working on off camera, and we'll get back to you. See you in a moment. Okay, this is one filled up charcoal pit. Let me grab this rock. Now, in order to activate the charcoal pit, I need to turn off magnet mode and throw a torch on the pile. And when it starts on fire, there we go. I need to seal it up, and if I've done this right, in several hours, probably tomorrow, we will have a good amount of charcoal, which we can then use to fill these holes, which will be our forge. Now, in order for the forge to work, they have to have a place for smoke to vent out, but they also It's also best not to have rain falling directly onto the forge, so you have to kind of do something like this where you have a block, the forge here, and then a roof covering it, and a vent behind it. This way the rain doesn't fall directly onto the forge, and it is able to keep on working. Now, yes, there's a lot of holes here. They're not all going to be in use. It's actually going to be a little bit easier to take care of things. I only need to use one of them, but the other ones will have purpose later on, assuming I can find the correct materials for the more advanced smithing and stuff. By the way, I haven't checked my quest book in ages. Oh, there's a quest I haven't turned in yet. Oh yeah, the pumpkin ones. And that gives me squash seeds. And drawing a blank, I can actually get that one turned in too. Let me just run to my farm. I know I talked about moving this farm, but I got lazy. Maybe I'll move it next year. I don't think I'm going to be getting any strawberries, which is quite unfortunate. But I can live. I'll deal. And are those carrots ready for harvesting? Not quite. They're almost there, though. These potatoes are. Getting food is actually not that difficult. Oh, there's that weird graphical glitch again. Yeah, getting food is not that difficult once you get a farm going. It's pretty darn easy. Now, since the forge is almost functional, but it requires me to have to wait for a little while, I may as well explain those drying racks that I have sitting beside my house. Let me just hop the fence here. Oop. So these drying mats, you take them and you put like a fruit or veggie on them, and it'll start drying it out. See, this potato is now 3% dry, 7%, and it slowly ticks up over time. And the time it takes is based on how much ounces you have there. And when it's done drying, you end up with half as much food, but it will last a lot longer than if you leave it a moist piece of food. So basically, it works kind of like normal drying food process works. You dry it out so there's no more moisture. That makes it so that bacteria and stuff can't really grow on it very well, which means it won't decay quite as fast. So you got a good source of food that will last a lot longer than normal. And I'm slowly filling in all these big holes around my place. I want to eventually get this all filled in so that I can just have a big open area right out front of my house. Kind of make it more hospitable for me. Maybe flatten this hill out here so it's clearer. I'm going to be surrounding my place in these walls, but for now I'm not going to. It might be a winter thing I can work on. Alright, so I will get back to you when we have charcoal and a functional forge, and then we will try to get ourselves a copper anvil. Oh, there's actually one more thing I want to do, but it can wait for a moment. Don't need to do it on camera. Well, I don't see any smoke coming out, so I assume that's a good thing. I need to go grab my pickaxe though, because I can't break through that stone with my bare fist. There's now a cat in my lap, and she is trying to move my microphone stand around. And she's left. She's been very whiny all day today. No reason. Again, like usual. She just whines. Doesn't matter what I say to her. Or if I hold her, or play with her, or feed her. She'll just whine. And it's annoying. It's like being a parent almost. Ah, there we go. Look at all that charcoal we have. I love the way that charcoal works in this game, in this mod. It's just awesome. You throw in a whole bunch of wood, you set it on fire, you close it in, and a day later you show up and it's all just this pile of burnt wood. And if you can hear any nature sounds, it's because I have my window open, because I was hoping that would at least satisfy my whining brat of a cat. It did for a while, then she got bored. I probably should get that shut. That is one loud ass bird. Okay, how much charcoal do we have? 39? That's probably more than enough, actually. So let's climb out of here. And get this charcoal pit filled up and set it on fire. Okay, so charcoal, you just fill the pit like you would any other thing. It takes 8 to fill the pit. And then you set it on fire with your little fire starter, and there you have it. Now, one thing I haven't actually tried before, I've never tried throwing these ceramic vessels onto here. Like, if I do so, will they melt? I'm thinking they probably won't, but I'm gonna... Yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. I need wood, though. Oh, look, my lemon tree has grown a bit. Yeah, notice how it doesn't have as much leaves as before? It apparently does that when it grows taller. Loses all of its leaves, and then it starts over from the beginning. Okay, there's a bunch of sequoia. And 4. Oops. And I reset everything. Damn it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. God, stupid scroll. Work with me. Okay, so in about 8 hours, I'm going to take that and get a whole bunch of ingots, which we then have to use over in the charcoal pit, which I should probably grab the charcoal out of there, because it's not actually going to be doing anything for us until we have all this. Let me just reach my hands into this burning pit of fire and grab the charcoal out before it catches fire, because that makes sense. And I have more than enough ceramic molds to get all the ingots. I do not, however, have the inventory space, so I'm going to have to clear out my inventory before this is all done. Ah, gooseberry bush. That's nice. And an acacia door. Beautiful. Almost matches my chestnut door. even plant the squash at all, so just put that there. Alright, I will rejoin you guys after we get the metal into ingot form. And then we'll make ourselves an anvil. See you shortly. Alright, we have a bunch of copper that needs to be thrown into molds. So let's head upstairs and get that taken care of. This is going to take a fair amount of time. And unfortunately, I won't be able to do anything with it until after sunrise, and I'm sure everything is going to be cool by then. Now, if you notice that there's some beef there, I killed a cow. Didn't really want to kill the cow, but kind of had to because I needed the leather so I can make an actual bed for a change. It doesn't let me skip the night, but it does let me set my spawn. And one more. Alright, let me go set my spawn quick. See? There's the bed. A straw and hide bed. Yeah, it's too uncomfortable to actually fall asleep. Basically, I'm a complete insomniac who will never sleep on anything unless it is a pristine wool bed. Yeah, that makes total sense, right? Alright, I'll see you when the sun comes up and I can go use my forge. Alright. Time to finally get this stuff taken care of. Okay, so we need 7 double ingots, which is 14 copper ingots welded together. And throw this up here. Okay. I shouldn't even bother having this up here. So these sit over here to catch any copper that ends up melting. Now I need the copper to get up to a temperature where it's weldable, which is, I think, bright red with 2 stars. So we got a little bit of time to kill. Not too much though. So when we weld them together, we have to let them cool, and a fast way to get them to cool is to dump them into water. Gets rid of the heat very quickly, and you don't have to spend as much time just waiting. So, welding and smithing, it's a lengthy process. Takes a lot of time. It gives you a lot of time to plan and think, and just stuff to wait. Actually, there's one thing I can do to make this process faster. If I put these ingots here, I can shift-click the hot ingots right into the welding area. By default, they would go into these slots. By keeping something there so they can't stack, I can just put them up here, hit weld, and everything's good. Bright red. Yeah, I was wrong. 2 stars isn't right. It's gotta be 3 stars or more. Also, there's a whole bunch of things you can do with a copper. I can make a copper set of armor, or set of copper armor if you want to say it that way. Let's let this get up one more slot. Okay, we do that. We run over here, we throw it in, weld, bring it out, throw this in, weld, bring it out, and toss it in. And that evaporates some of the water and cools us down real quick. So I just have to do that 5 more times. And we'll be golden. Things are getting a little bit more risky. It's getting dark out. There's some mountain trolls up on the mountains. I got a fence up, but I don't think it's going to do much to keep me safe. Okay, it's orange. That's good enough. Bright red, can still weld. Welded. Now it's cooled down. And we have a copper anvil. And it is a very heavy thing. But if we put it on our back, we can move around. When we take it off our back, can't move at all. So we'll put that right there. And we're going to run to our house before we're eaten by a pinch beetle. Pinch beetles are actually really scary. One pinch beetle almost killed me. A single one. So I do not want to mess with them. Okay. So, that was making an anvil. Something I haven't actually checked. This blacksmithing thing. I haven't done any of this stuff because I failed to make a gold pan. Let's fix that. Gold pan. Claim reward. And I've completed all this stuff. A chestnut tree I don't have no chestnut trees. I don't have no willow trees. What crazy stuff are you trying to tell me to do, game? I want to do olives. Olive sounds good. Claim this reward. I've done so much stuff. Ooh. We'd get some peat, which I don't really know what that's going to do for us, but some copper scythe, copper axe. I think I'll take the copper axe because I'm going to use an axe a lot more often. Oh, I still need to make a copper javelin. Then I have that one done. Make 10 of a fence. Okay. Bronze. That's going to be interesting. You can do bismuth, black, or regular bronze. I get tetrahedrite or cassiterite, which I think I would take tetrahedrite. Why would it have me do a farm for wood I do not have available to me? I have to go out and find chestnut and willow trees to complete these quests. That's gonna suck. And we have a couple quests in here. Logs to lumber. Ooh. A pine sapling. That's not helpful. It's none of the things I need. Yeah, I'm just going to take this sycamore log because I don't want to deal with having a bunch of different types of logs I don't have a source for. Support beam, sycamore, birch, spruce, oak. I'll take the birch. Get smooth stone. And it only wants specific types. It can't be any. Which is why I don't have that quest completed already. Annoying. Wants me to make 4 chests total. Okay, that's not a bad deal. I can take care of that quick. Was that not good enough? Fine, I'll make more. I don't mind making more. There. Now give me my reward. Hey look, chestnut logs. How useful. I'll take the oak. And then it wants me to get into leather working, and I've made these. And vinegar, whiskey, and a wooden bucket of milk. Well, that means I'm going to have to get a farm up and running, like an actual barn, and get the cows domesticated and brought over. And that's going to be a little bit tricky, but thankfully I have wheat growing, so I'll be able to do that hopefully. I'm going to end this episode here. We accomplished our goal. I'm going to have to look at making a barn to keep those cows in. Probably over in the flat field over there, near my crop area. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Give a like if you are. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to me yet. And I will see you in a future video. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.